Presented by Exquisite Timepieces. More about them in the description down below and later in the video.
What's up, everyone? I'm Guy from Just Bluefish Watch Reviews, and today we're taking a look at a watch with one of the nicest looking dials I have personally ever seen. It's a 39mm stainless steel dress watch, limited to just 50 total pieces, from Schwarz Etienne by Kari Voutilainen. But before we get into that, a quick disclosure and a quick thank you to my friends at local Naples, Florida watch dealer Exquisite Timepieces. They are my channel partner and my sponsor, and they loaned me this watch for the video. So without them and their support, videos like this just wouldn't be possible. They are an amazing watch dealer, and I've known them for years. I absolutely love working with them, and I can't recommend them enough to you guys. Now, of course, as always, the thoughts and the opinions expressed in my videos are my own, and they are not influenced or directed by them or any other third party. Now onto the watch, and this watch is nothing short of exceptional. And that's not something that I say too often about a watch. Most watches do have their pros and their cons, but this is on another level. This is, of course, subjective, but I think that the watch is absolutely perfect. At 39mm in diameter, the Roma Synergy Blue is a classically sized dress watch on a leather strap with an intricate dial presenting a series of guilloche patterns that will absolutely blow your mind. That is until you flip the watch over and look at the in-house manufacturer ASE 200.00 movement, which takes movement decoration to the next level. Now, Finnish watchmaker Kari Voutilainen, the mind behind the dial and the movement decoration, pulled absolutely no punches when designing this watch, and yet he created a design that didn't go overboard in the least. Now, as far as the specifications go, the watch has a retail price of $36,000, and of course, we have a domed sapphire crystal with anti-reflective treatment. We have a micro-rotor-equipped in-house manufacturer movement with an 86-hour power reserve running at 21,600 vibrations per hour, and a high-polished 39mm stainless steel watch case with 50 meters of water resistance coming in at about 11 millimeters thick, with a 45mm lug-to-lug length, and of course with a leather strap connecting between the 20mm lugs. Now, the blue-gray leather strap has a mild bolstering and a monochromatic stitch going down the sides, and it features a gold leather underside lining. Finally, the strap is finished off with a Schwarz Etienne signed stainless steel folding clasp with push-button deployant. All of that said, the star of the show of this watch is the dial and the movement. And more about the dial and the movement after a quick 30-second word about the channel sponsor.
This video is presented in partnership with Exquisite Timepieces, located in Naples, Florida. Exquisite is an authorized dealer of dozens of watch brands, including Seiko and Grand Seiko, Omega, Oris, Blancpain, Breguet, and many more. Exquisite also has an amazing selection of pre-owned watches with new inventory coming in daily. So if you're looking for your next watch, check their website, exquisitetimepieces.com, or call their store at 239-227-2932, and let them know that you heard about them from Guy and the Just Bluefish channel. I can't recommend them enough.
The dial is made from 925 sterling silver, comes in a royal blue color, and features Voutilainen hand guilloched patterns, and the finish work on the dial is absolutely stunning. The dial actually has 4 different handmade guilloche patterns and finishings if we include the by Voutilainen applique. And that's before we start talking about the Arabic numerals, the hour indexes, or the handset. The dial features a 3, 9, and 12 applied marker motif and spear or lance style hands, with the hands being in a silver finished brass. The hands have a clean, crisp, beveled line, creating contrast depending on how the light hits them, and they are as impeccably finished as the rest of the watch. The small seconds subdial has that train track style ring for the seconds hand graduation, and it has that applique, noting that the finish work is by Voutilainen. Inside of the train track is another layer of guilloche, creating a separation between the interior of the dial and the outer hour marker track. And of course, the dial is finished off with the Schwarz Etienne branding and a 60-minute graduated train track style chapter ring, completing a watch face display that is classic, elegant, and refined. But most of all, it's amazing. Now, looking towards the rear of the watch, we're presented with the in-house movement and its finishing that is no less splendid than the dial. The micro rotor equipped movement has an overall thickness of just 5.35 millimeters, and the decorations include traditional hand guilloche, diamond drops, and snailing on the ratchet wheel, and hand beveling and polishing on the bridges. The 33 joule movement has 198 components, with features that include an in-house manufactured fixed inertia balanced wheel, 86 hours of power reserve, and of course the automatic winding micro rotor system. All that said, more than anything, I think that the thing you can appreciate the most is the Voutilainen finishing and decoration, and like the dial, the finishing is exceptional to say the least. Now, it's hard to say whether the front-facing display or the movement from the rear is more handsomely decorated for my money. And I suppose I'd say that I probably like the dial, maybe just a little bit better, but they're both absolutely amazing. The last thing that I want to hit is how it wears on the wrist, and as you can probably imagine, at least if you know me and you have been watching my videos over the years, I think that it wears absolutely great on my 6.5-inch wrist. And that's because I generally prefer smaller watches, and when it comes to dress watches, that's no exception. And while the 39mm size isn't exactly what most people would consider small, it does wear a bit more conservatively than the diameter might suggest. I think that's because of the relatively short lug-to-lug length of just 45mm, along with the fairly slim 11mm of overall thickness. It really feels great on the wrist. However, with that 20mm wide lug width, and of course the strap being that size, it has just a wide enough stance on the wrist from side to side so that it doesn't feel too small. And honestly, I'm really glad that they opted for that sizing over something like 18 or 19mm. I think that it retains a level of masculinity thanks to that slightly wider strap sizing. All of that said, this is one stunning timepiece, probably one of the best looking watches that has ever come through my studio, and having a chance to have it here on the channel and to produce this presentation has been nothing short of awesome. So I guess I'll wrap this one up for today, and I will say thanks to everyone for tuning in and watching. I greatly appreciate it. And of course, thanks to Exquisite Timepieces for loaning me this watch for the video. Don't forget, check out their website. They sell everything from more affordable watches like Seiko and Oris, all the way up to Omega, Grand Seiko, and even much higher-end luxury watches. Now, with all of that said, thanks again, and until the next one, bye now.